going to take care of the editorial of the day. Editorial near 2, short one. No? All right, after this short break, we're going to take care of the editorial of the day. Editorial near 2, short one. No? Dampare, any Kennedy Japan. Now, second one, I'm at Chelsea Akuffo Addo is a fake lawyer. Ma obia njindi say Akuffo Addo a lawyer. And then me prove it. You prove it, yeah. Me catch them say there's a bigger scandal I'm bringing, and I'm working with some French professor who is into law and all that. This is the basis for Akuffo Addo's, the beginning of his downfall when it comes to his academic history. Nana Dankwa Akuffo Addo is a liar. He's never been a lawyer. Everything that he's showing you people today is fake. And I'll prove to you why. You're still watching with all respect, extended version. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Kevin Akuffo Taylor. My producers are called the Ghost Team. It's exactly 4:41 p.m. US East Coast. It's definitely 9:41 in Ghana. Thank you very much for staying. Young go straight and take care of the first editorial of the day. The first editorial of the day, is got to do with the IGP of Ghana. I see IGP Dampare implicated in the heinous murder of JB Dankwa. Now, Obianim, the video I played the last time. Now, we have all picked signal. Kennedy Japan, Nankasa, I can't say next week he's going to be in Ghana. Now, the reason why IGP, Dr. Dampare needs to prove to us Ghanaians said the Kennedy Japan cano, he needs to invite Kennedy Japan. Nothing else, a bit to me, I convince you, say IGP nim the economy. Because Kennedy Japan has sat on TV countless occasions to tell Ghanaians and the world said, Dampare, he is the IGP of Ghana today, no? Nipa Oku, JB Dankwa, a member of parliament. Now, the reason why Assembly is very important to me, Chief Justice picture, I am going to add Dampare's this picture to it because Dampare should prove to us why we should respect and know, say, he's a credible IGP. Kennedy Japan say, an MP was murdered. Or no Kennedy say, for a fact, you Dampare called your boss then. And a boss can say, stop the case. Do not follow the case again. That means that you Dampare from day one, you knew who actually killed JB Dankwa. And we are not talking about just an ordinary Ghanaian. We are talking about a member of parliament. Now, Dampare needs to prove to us beyond reasonable doubt that or you're credible or you'll be we can rely on and that he's not a political insector. He has been brought in to just satisfy the political ambition and ego of Akuffo Addo because people have started picking those signals. Dampare should come out as an IGP or credibility to prove to Ghanaians say he does not know anything about what Kennedy Japan is saying. In fact, Dampare has been somebody who basically finds it easy to invite people in when he feels that some allegations have been made or some actions were taken before that he thought or thinks they are not right. He has done a lot of it. He has positioned himself, say, ordinary the prim and proper IGP, ordinary the best chair any IGP we've had. His utterances and his ideologies, whatever Ghana police, he's making us believe, he said, he's an IGP who takes nonsense. And the last thing he would take is for a member of parliament to say he, the IGP Dampare, onimnipa oku eye JB Dankwa. It is very, very important. Full stop. Turn off. Now, Muntie, me pese, Ghana for Kevin Taylor, so ni nyansa, ti se me. Bisa se,
former IGP Kudalo. Emra ya ball stand dog with you. Adentina or catch it. Dampare say onya case in former another.
What?
Yes. And national security kandapa. Munyina monfre Kudalo.
Kudalo.
Yes. Na mo misa no watu kwan.
Wow.
Na watu kwan no ni kroma. But the moment that stand dog with him be amuno. Na monfre Dampare. He can't lie. Say, why na catch it and say onyai case no na on farmer
serious.
Yes.
Very
fascinating. Tell we kwasia papa kwasia oni bia wo. We are bua baka jam say me nam kum JB. Now, enti Kudalo catch it. Dampare or the phone call na man say onyai case no na on farmer obi. He didn't understand it. So he pursued it.
Yeah.
Who say when your interest won't pay, how many days na take you transfer? Dampare the call Winiba. Wow. Dampare.
We have been told say Nchani Erefia.
Yes. What you say? A while who said Dampare.
Wow.
Near all corner. Obama NDC are buying any more good as quick. Any transfer. And Mara a boss Tandogbe. There's one other person. Boys, they say, oh, but you omupia, omukaso omumpie into a boss second person. One police officer has also confirmed, say, a boss second person. But up to now,
so Dampare, this is clear enough. The IGP, Dr. Dampare, this is clear. When ya debi okani chi into Ghana for you nim de eke. Kennedy Japan eba Ghana. Kennedy Japan on sun jeobia on sun jemrano. Kennedy Japan has put out some allegations out. Ocha say, you Dampare, the IGP of Ghana, you knew the killers of JB Dankwa because it was in front of you and a suspect, a sexy dondon, a bubo dino. In the IGP, to prove to people like myself not to use very strong words at you, not to let the people know you are a liar, and a liar is a thief, and that you should be trusted, you should make sure when Kennedy touches down in Ghana, you arrest him, and then question him, his basis for making that allegation. Because the moment you refuse to do that, Dampare, then you are complicit. Then it means what Kennedy is saying is the truth. And it means to say you are an IGP who covers crimes. And we need to let the world know you are an IGP who is actually in front of covering killers who killed MPs and criminals who kill members of parliament. If you don't want this to be linked to your CV, if you don't want people like myself to let the world know that you are a criminal IGP, yes, the moment you ignore this matter, you technically become a criminal IGP because you have failed to prove that principle. Now, the start here, Jumano, you are a no-nonsense IGP. You are a law and order IGP. We have seen people you have pursued and made sure the law applied. We have seen people, even members of parliament today. So you are going after him because in your senses and in your books, you feel that, say, Sosu has gone against the law. Now, Kennedy Japan has made this statement over and over and over and over on different platforms in America, in Ghana, in different places. So it means he has facts. So it means he has evidence. If you, IGP Dampare, fails to arrest this guy on the day he touches in Ghana or he touches down in Ghana, then I will see you as a criminal IGP. Nobody should take you serious. I don't need an IGP in Ghana who covers up crimes. I don't need an IGP who covers up names of murderers. Then that person can also murder. If you cover names of murders, and I'm saying this from what Kennedy Japan said, because the whole Ghana, we didn't know this. We didn't know you, Dampare, you knew who actually killed JB Dankwa. Kennedy Japan Oka, he's a member of parliament. He is not some idiot walking on the street where you're needing. Where you're a member of parliament, it means you can arrest him and let the world know what actually he meant. He said so many things. You were there. You called your former boss. If your former boss is around and alive, he also needs to show up. We are talking about this MP saying that there were some other police officers who confirmed a second name to him. Sir, police for you have to make this guy tell you who they are to bring them in. It is simple as that. If you fail, IGP, you will not like people like us. You would think that we have an agenda against you. Nobody has an agenda against you. When you started putting the law and order principles across, we all applauded. We all said this is how policing is supposed to be. And today, you need to prove to us that your credibility is intact. IGP, you are clean. Prove to us, because this allegation is so huge for it to just pass. It's an allegation. It is important to say every single person gets to get to the bottom of. Kennedy is not dead. God being so good. Maybe he's half injured. He's half mental, but he's not dead. When he touches down, you need to arrest Kennedy Japan. It's a fact. IGP, this is not a joke. This is not funny. This is not like we are playing chess or poker. This is the real issue on the ground. And we will get CSOs petitioning you to call Kennedy Japan. If you think this is a joke, then you are joking. Because if you fail to do this, then we will get the youth putting together what we call a petition. We will put together signatures to force you to call Kennedy Japan to come in and answer questions. We need to see it on camera. We need to know the bottom of this issue, because Kennedy Japan cannot just lie or say things and our IGP will be quiet. This is the integrity of the Inspector General of Police of Ghana. This is not a joke. And this should be a national assignment for every single young man who wants the right thing to be done, who wants law and order to be followed through. Because IGP Dampare has shown the way that irrespective of who is in power, or irrespective of who is in front of the law, if you go against the law, you need to be punished. You need to be questioned. He has done it to a lot of people. As I speak, you are still pursuing Sosu, who even had permission to demonstrate. But I don't care. I don't want you to feel, say, because of Sosu, it is all about what Kennedy said. It's all about the records. JB Dankwa was a member of parliament. Prove to us, because I'm not done with this issue. I will be reminding you every single day. You are the IGP. You are not a murderer. If you want to tell us you are the murderer, then shut up. But if you don't make a move to let this guy come in, you need to arrest him at the airport. In Ghana, obi nsunchen obi o. Embrana yedi no Ghana no, ensunchen Sosu, ena enya keto ama Kennedy. Embrana yedi di Sosu no, e also did the same Embrana di Kennedy. Kennedy di akrampo, it is on tape, and I played it. I see you, Dampare. He made it emphatic. You even called your boss after knowing the names of those who killed JB Dankwa. So you yourself and your boss, you need to let us know the truth. You are too quiet. Today is Monday. I'm giving you tomorrow. You need to release a statement. You need to release a statement. You need to release a warrant looking for Kennedy Japan to bring him in. We are not joking anymore. You made us understand we need to get serious. You made us understand the law needs to apply. You cannot go away or leave the law behind and act as if you are the IGP making sure the law works. No, you need to set the example. And the example is for you to make sure Kennedy Japan is brought home to answer questions. So at the airport, he's a member of parliament. Arrest Kennedy at the airport. You were looking for Sosu to arrest him. You went to his church. You were following him like a rat. Kennedy Japan is coming. You need to pick him up the day he touches Ghana. No foolish idiot should sit there and say Kevin hates Kennedy. I don't hate Kennedy. I want the truth. I didn't say what things Kennedy said. Kennedy Japan said those things willingly. And it's not just once, a couple of times, meaning he knows what he's talking about. He has facts. And the IGP needs to prove himself. So IGP Dampare, let us know who you are. Whether you are an IGP who covers criminals, or you are the IGP who makes sure the law and order you spoke about or you be speaking about works. Don't let us think otherwise. Prove to us that you are the angel you've been saying you are. Prove to us that the law does not apply to some people, and some people, they can jump the law. Kennedy Japan is a member of parliament. He's touching down this week or next week. Pick him up. Pick him up and let him come and answer questions. Let him come and give us facts. Let him come and let the world know that every single thing that he said are factual. Because if you don't, then it means you did it. Then it means we have an IGP who is a criminal. Then it means we have an IGP who condones crimes. Then it means we have an IGP who is basically, technically, a murderer, because you know a member of parliament was murdered, you know the names, and you are keeping it to yourself. A member of parliament came out to say you were the person they confess to. We are not kidding here. Don't think we are kidding. If I have to take this internationally for the world to know who you are, I will take it. Make it easy for all of us. Make it simple for every Ghanaian. Let this be easy. The guy is coming back to Ghana. The ball is in your court. You have the command. You have the last note. You are the Inspector General of Ghana Police Service. Make sure he's picked up at the airport. He doesn't even have to go home. If you fail, we will tell you our mind, and we will pursue to the last drop. We will pursue and make sure the world gets to know who you are. I am not against you. I don't hate you. I expect you to apply the same principles and the same rules. Dampare, I respect you a lot, but make sure this respect, you sustain it. You have to sustain it by making sure Kennedy Japan is brought in, questioned, and given us facts. Because this statement are damning statements. This statement can end your career. This statement can cause for a demonstration against you. This statement can destroy the Ghana Police Service, because majority of these young men and women in the police service are expecting that you, the IGP, prove to the world that you are not an IGP who covers murderers. You are not an IGP who connive with criminals to hide the names of murderers. They are looking up to you. You are the boss. Prove a point. It is very, very important. IGP Dampare, this is not a joke anymore. This is the reality. And let us know that you are not the IGP you have been thinking you are. Prove to us you are better. You are clean. It's simple as that. So the guy is coming. Let us see a statement for the Ghana Police Service that you are ready, that anytime he touches down, you arrest him. He has made an allegation, and it's crazy. This is murder. This is not playing soccer. This is murder. And your name is in there. So if you want us to believe you, if you want Ghanaians to know that you are not a criminal who is covering criminals, prove to us. And I'll sit here and applaud you. I'll let the world know that you are the cleanest IGP you've ever had. When you fail this task, I will make sure the whole world gets to know who you are. It is very simple. You're still watching. With all due respect, extended version. After this short break, I will tell you about Akuffo Addo. It's exactly 4:57 p.m. It's definitely 9:57 in Ghana. Let's do the final stretch. You're still watching with all due respect, extended version. My name is Akuffo Addo. Unjamio, minko baby, mijinim. Ye jinim se jantra for Brazil, and the wow problem. We are going to talk about Nana Addo Akuffo Addo, why he's a fake lawyer. And this is the first one. I am working with a professor of law in France. There's something coming, but I had a conversation. We have to do this first, so that when we drop what is the thing, people understand why Akuffo Addo is fake. He's a liar. He can never be trusted, and he has come to Ghana with this ideology to lie to us to find a way to win the presidency. Nana Addo Akuffo Addo is a fake lawyer. This is part one. Let me show you. Nipa bebre adwinu ma mo sankran na Akuffo Addo lawyer and we say onya lawyer and we say the dear cry na ekoso Akuffo Addo ade number bonte kura be kan kire say a lawyer na the certificate ni impendifo de be are worried. The young ones coming up, they want to know the history and add it to the history they've learned that our president was a lawyer. Till date, we still haven't heard an emphatic statement from Akuffo Addo. Baby in the law, the case he was part of, the students he was with, graduated with him, where he actually started. He has never made emphatic statements, but all that the Akuffo Addo does majority of the time is mention law firms, mention the place they were, and walks. He never speaks about who he was with. A law case that we can go into the law books in France or in UK and see his name in there. Ebin Sida. Me sitting here, Opuni agongo case here by Ghana Supreme Court. When you go into the Ghana law book, my name is there because they mentioned my name in court. So a lawyer who has actually followed a client to court, being part of a case, a practicing lawyer, the probability of your name showing up in any of these countries, their law book, it should be high. You need to have classmates who at least write a book and refer you and say, this is my practicing colleague. In this year, during this time, we did this. We have not seen anything like that. But let me show you from the beginning how Akuffo Addo cooked things up and how he's still cooking things up. We are going to stop him, and I will stop Akuffo Addo's lies. Ghana will get to know when I bring the part 2 that this guy has been an imposter from day one. They cooked him. He's a bloody liar. He's fake. He's not a genuine lawyer. He has no mates. For crying out loud. Every single school he attended, he was fired or he was sacked because of his habit, because of his indiscipline. And I'll prove to you why Akuffo Addo is a goddamn liar. Now look at this. Now you see this. This is how it started. Akuffo Addo is not a lawyer. Mrs. Rawlings, we're all here. When Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, this is 2008, came out and said, Nana Akufo Addo isn't a lawyer. He is not. In fact, she went on to explain why she believed. She said she didn't just insinuate. She didn't just throw anything out there. She said she knows for a fact that Nana Akufo Addo is not a lawyer. Now, when you read a story, this is what the story says. When you go to my Joy Online today, carry the story, but so shockingly, they have taken the story itself, the picture from the story. You see, Akuffo Addo is not a lawyer, but Kunedu's picture has been taken away. They have deleted her picture, but the story is there. So you can read a story from anywhere in the world, but you wouldn't know who said it because the picture should go with the story. But this is a situation whereby a whole media house like multimedia, they came out and then they are saying, say, Akuffo Addo is not a lawyer, reported on a story, but there's no face to the story. It should show you that these so-called We Are Media House is a criminal cartel. And Kennedy told you people, said he would never know, say, multimedia owner no, or a cocaine dealer. I didn't say it. If Kennedy wasn't his friend, if Kennedy had not been in any contact with him or done any business with him, he wouldn't have opened his mouth to say he knows about cocaine deals. No? That means Kennedy might have been part of that deal or know somebody who. So technically, Kennedy is saying that we have done something. So when somebody says somewhere else and say, Kennedy, hey, I think you're also a drug dealer. And you say, why? Because you are telling me your friend, because we all knew he was your friend. When you used to live in the US, that woman, Safo Hotel, the other day was at when you people were in Bronx, you people were sleeping in the same room together. He's been your friend a long time. So and they'll catch us that guy is a cocaine dealer. Then somebody will look at you with a second eye and say, hey, then you too, you are a drug dealer because you told me your friend is a drug dealer. So these are things that if you a journalist, you look at it critically before you go into it. All right, now look at this. When you go to Ghana Web, this is what Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings said. The story says, he did not go to any law school. Worked with the France-based legal firm as an economist. She went on to say this. The former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings has flunged yet another attack on MPP flag bearer Nana Akufo Addo, challenging the veracity of his legal credentials. Mrs. Addo Rawlings said, she has enough evidence. Mrs. Addo Rawlings said, she has enough evidence to prove that the former Attorney General and Minister for Justice and flag bearer of the ruling New Patriotic Party is not a lawyer after all. Contrary to what his curriculum vitae beams with. The story goes on to say this. And I quote. No, the story goes on to say that Nana Akufo Addo, who was addressing the Greater Accra wing of the tertiary education. So basically, that's where she made that story, made that comment. Now, Nana Akufo Addo Rawlings, as some kind say, "Oh, Nana Akufo Addo say, oko legon koye economics na onim owo engineer so a okacha Ghana fo nyina se Akuffo Addo ya azan onye lawyer papa bia we Nana Kuredu Adjuma Rollins ya o fellow Ghanaians kaba mame kaba ono na eka o enya me ose our facts to show say Akuffo Addo is never a lawyer. He's lying about his resume. He's lying about his Wikipedia. He's lying about everything that he's telling us when it comes to his educational background. And that she has facts to show Akuffo Addo is never and was never a lawyer in any law school. This is Nana Kuredu Adjuma Rollins. Let's move forward. Now you see this picture. Sometimes you see it on social media. And Uncle Phobidi Adebia Betwasye, young Akuffo Addo received gift of book from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is a lie. It is never Akuffo Addo. And you see, when I do these things, I expect people who want to fight me, they should bring their facts to say Kevin lied. You see, it's so important when we are doing these things. Say, Obi Tiemia, next Obi Peso Oba be program or China Kevin Boa. Now the documents that China say, Akura we Akuffo Addo or facts not their betche. This isn't Akuffo Addo. A MPP for almost strategy ni bi omde protecting Akuffo Addo ni. This young man wasn't Akuffo Addo. Intima obi nfa picture bi nkyerɛw say Kwame Nkrumah na ema Akuffo Addo book. It is a lie. So who picture we baby na MPP ni ka just Akuffo Addo na Kwame Nkrumah oboa. MPP ni a say eye Akuffo Addo ombe prove nkyerɛ na improve nkyerɛ baby akwara we free. So it is important we start taking our time to break things down. Senator Ghana Nibia will have a clear understanding of where we are heading. Yen to me, my imposters, criminals, liars, lead us. What we are doing today, but in the near future, it will really help because it will get us to that point that and we are going to do this as time goes on. They will all understand, say, president, then it means that person has been scrutinized to the core. For all you know, Akuffo Addo, he had done some things, people have no idea. For all you know, we are even living with a criminal. For all you know, I am not saying he is. We are living with somebody, and maybe he murdered somebody in school. For all you know, Akuffo Addo committed armed robbery in a primary free school. So he has hidden that. And it is important. Debbie Ameka trying to say a judge like Johnny Kulendi. I told you here, when he was in senior high school, or the Akonyana born teacher, Mr. Ali Ekunu, Johnny Kulendi has not come out to say it is a lie. His name isn't Johnny Kulendi. Near friend Timbila. Oku teacher no, Ambrose Derry was his lawyer. I want Johnny Kulendi, who is a Supreme Court judge, to say that this is a lie. This never happened. But this guy is a Supreme Court judge. So you see where we are? We are at a place that dangerous people are leading us. Johnny Kulendi also practiced in Akuffo Addo's law firm. So they know that terrain of changing records and making and polishing themselves out as criminals so they can polish themselves and come as some technocrats or as some intelligent people. So we need to be careful. So Johnny Kulendi is not Johnny Kulendi. His name is Timbila. And he attacked his teacher with a stick, the leg of a chair. He hit Mr. Ali's head. Mr. Ali died. His lawyer was Ambrose Derry. They are all around. Why is nobody saying I'm lying? But I'll come to that story very, very soon. So this is the Akuffo Addo. Now, when you read Akuffo Addo's Wikipedia, this is what you see. This is how we are going to change Ghana for the better. Let's move forward. When you read Akuffo Addo's Wikipedia, early life and education, pay attention. Be attentive. Follow me slowly. Nana Addo Akuffo Addo was born in Swalaba, Accra, Ghana on the 29th March 1944. 1944. 1944. To a prominent Ghanaian royal and political family as the son of Adeline and Edward Akuffo Addo. His father, Edward Akuffo Addo from Ikropo Ikuapem was Ghana's third Chief Justice from 1966 to 1970. Remember, a champion took over from 1972. Akuffo Addo's dad was the acting presido from 1967 to 1970. 1966 to 1970. A champion took over from 1972 to 75. I think so. Yes. Keep this in your head. So don't forget about time and a champion, your president. Now, from Akuffo 1970, chairman of the 1967-68 Constitutional Commission and the non-executive president of Ghana from 1978 till 1972. He was the non-presidential, or he was the non-executive president of Ghana from 1970 till 1972. Akuffo Addo's maternal grandfather was Nana Sey Furiata, king of Achime-Buakwa, who was a member of the executive council of the governor of the Gold Coast before Ghana's independence. He is a nephew of Kofi Asante Oforiatta and William Oforiatta. His grand uncle was J.B. Dankwa, another member of the Big Six. Now, move forward. He started his secondary education at Akuffo Addo College. Akuffo Addo started his secondary education at Akuffo Addo College, Cape Coast, and later went to Kimbu. Whatever happened at Akuffo Addo, nobody knows. So you have to understand, from Akuffo Addo, he was sacked, and then he came to Kimbu in Accra. Follow it very well. There was nowhere that Akuffo Addo had completed a school in his life. Akuffo Addo has not completed any school in his life. Now, he was sacked and then later went to Kimbu in Accra Central. He went to England to study for his O-level and A-level examinations at Lancing College, Sussex, where he was nicknamed Billy, and joined the Anglican faith. I'm also Anglican. Now, he goes on to say this. He began the philosophy, politics, and economics course at New College, Oxford in 1962. Remember, that Oxford is not the Oxford that we know. It's New College, Oxford. The real Oxford is not this one. Later, he became the real Oxford, but that, I don't want to dwell on it. New College, Oxford in 1962, but left soon afterwards. So, there too, he left when he was there. And remember, they have still not said why he did not complete. Every time he left, every time from where? From Akuffo Addo, he left and he went to Kimbu. From Kimbu, he left, he went to UK. And in UK, he left Oxford. Every time, there's not a single reason that they give, and he never completes any school. Is it his attitude? Is it his lifestyle? Is it his arrogance? Or is it something that nobody could keep? It's very, very important. Akuffo Addo we school biada. A day until the baba akora so ya tam na free ha, there na ha, near pam no ha, near no kwa. There is a reason, and they never give that reason. Now let's go on. He returned to Ghana in 1962 to teach at the Accra Academy before going to read economics at the University of Ghana, Legon, in 1964. So from UK, he came to Ghana. 1962, he went to Accra to go teach. Then, from Accra, he entered Legon to go read economics. And it's another career that Juma Rollins said, "Oh no, nim Akuffo Addo Legon no, na Akuffo Addo kind economics." He didn't go to law school. He was reading economics. Now, he goes on to say this. In 1964, he earned a BSc, that's Econs, degree in 1967 with a third class. Akuffo Addo completed Legon with a third class. Nana Addo Akuffo Addo na Debia almost say he's the most intelligent man. No? He completed Legon with a third class. Yakasa will be a third class. Technically, they do ceremonies for you to come and take certificate. You are the obonfo in the class. You are the most weak-minded person in the class. In fact, you are the weakest student in economics. He completed Legon with third class. Third class. Okay, let's move on. He subsequently joined Inner Temple and trained as a lawyer under the apprenticeship. Take that word seriously. Under the apprenticeship system known as the Inns of Court, where no formal law degree was required. My father-in-law has a law firm. My mother-in-law here, she also has a law firm. They both have their own law firms. Now, I've taken my law school exams, LSAT. What I can do is I can join my father-in-law's law firm to assist, or technically you can say as a paralegal. Now, that does not make me a lawyer. It's just an apprenticeship job I'm doing there. I don't have any degree to be there, but because the law gives, or there is a way that every law firm can, in fact, bring people in to come support work in the office, they create something called apprenticeship. You being a paralegal for 20 years without having a law degree does not make you a lawyer. Listen to this, very, very important. You can be a paralegal for 20 years in somebody's law firm or any other law firm. If you don't have a law degree, you are not a lawyer to practice. You know everything about legal system. You why withdraw ewo nsema ewo legal mu utumi court ko wura ho pie edidi court nkomo enim terms ni nyina. It does not make you a lawyer. A lawyer is somebody who has been accredited or has been sanctioned or has the degree to practice. And no, now we are a lawyer. If you don't have that and you do apprenticeship anywhere, you are not qualified to represent somebody in law, in court as their lawyer. You are not qualified. You can never stand in front of any judge and call yourself an accredited lawyer who has gotten a law degree to stand before the law and defend people. You can't. And nowhere in the world allows that. Let's move forward. It says he was called to the English Bar Middle Temple. Listen to this very well. He was called to the English Bar Middle Temple in July 1971. He was called to the Ghana Bar in 1975. Now, the first one, which is the Inner Temple, they told you emphatically that it was an apprenticeship job he got there. He wasn't a law degree holder. So, for you to say that Inner Temples, he went there and was called as a lawyer, it means he should have had a law degree before even coming to Inner Temples. Now, the issue is, who were the graduates or his colleagues that he went to school with that can say that Akuffo Addo was doing apprenticeship at Inner Temples, but through that he had a law degree. That is why he was called to the Inner Temple. Or he had what's the name? Inns of Court. He was doing apprenticeship at Inns of Court, and that through that he got a degree because they had already stated that he was doing an apprenticeship job and it wasn't formal. When white man writes that this wasn't formal, it does not come with any recognizable certificate or recognizable institution confirming or affirming their signature. Much more, we are talking about the law in the UK. Now, isn't it so weird that Akuffo Addo doing apprenticeship at Inns Court in a few years, because we were from 1964, then 1971, that gap there, he was working as an apprentice, and at the same time, he was able to get a law degree and was called to what? Inner Temple. Now, the question is, who are the people he graduated with for Inner Temples to make Akuffo Addo a lawyer? There are two things here. One, it's either he never, or two, he used his father's name. You have to be very careful. Follow me closely. Akuffo Addo has never come out, or no person on earth has come out from Inner Temples, all the way from Inns Court to Inner Temples to say that I was in law class with Akuffo Addo and that we graduated together. But suddenly, there's something there in that 5 years that Akuffo Addo became, they called him to Inner Temple. That 5 years, did he go to any law school? If Akuffo Addo did go, that is good. Which law school? And who were in class or in that same law school with him that were graduate or were graduated the same year? because you can't go to school alone. You can't tell me you are the only student who graduated when we were at Inns Court and then all the way you were called to Inner Temples. That 5 years or whatever, who did you graduate with? Do you have colleagues? Do you have mates? Do you have people you wrote exams with? Can you refer us to one? Has anybody in the world across the world say, this my mate, when I was in law school with him, today he's the president of Ghana. Has anybody written a book and said that I took the same degree course, law course with Akuffo Addo this period? We have never seen anybody. We haven't seen anybody till date. We haven't. Somebody's even talking about his primary education, all the way straight from Addis Ababa College. We don't even know where he went to primary school. Let's put it aside. We'll come to there. One kind of primary school, he was straightforward at Addis Ababa College. Then he started coming. So the primary but what I am looking at is Sir Inns Court, any Inner Temple near Freno at the bar. The question is, did he go to any formal school? Because Inns Court, they told us it was not a formal thing. It was what we call apprenticeship. And you cannot be an apprentice to be given a degree. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. You cannot be an apprentice or you cannot apply for apprenticeship and at the end of the day, given a degree. It never happens anywhere in the world. So we want to know. Now, let's move forward. It says this. He was called to the English Bar Middle Temple in July 1971. It means when Akuffo Addo was practicing apprenticeship, from 1964 all the way 1967. No, let's take it from 1967, time of Free Legon, all the way to 1971. Akuffo Addo was busy. Akuffo Addo was in the UK. Fine. Now it says this. He was called to the English Bar Middle Temple in July 1971. He was called to the Ghanaian Bar in July 1975. So Okwaji, your friend of Bar, Inner Temples 1971. 4 years and your friend of Ghana Bar. One, remember, the Inner Temples one, he's not been able to prove any classmate where he graduated, what course, his certificate, he has not been able to prove in all of his documents. Ever seen there? Nana Akuffo Addo has not been able to prove. Now, when you come all the way to the Ghana one to 1975, he has not been able to prove even a single individual he graduated with. Sure, law in Ghana at the Ghana Law School to be a lawyer. Now, let's go to the details. Number one. Till date, the man, and that is Nana Akuffo Addo, is yet to produce one individual as his classmate with whom he completed law school with here in Ghana or England. What Nana Akuffo Addo does is, when he's in England, he will tell you he got his law degree in Ghana. When he's in Ghana, he will tell you he got his law degree in England. So it becomes difficult for you to track where he actually got his law degree and who he actually graduated with. So our Ghana, he got his degree in England. When he's in England, he got his degree in Ghana. That is Akuffo Addo for you. Let's keep going. He's also yet to provide evidence of colleagues he practiced law with in England. Till date, Nana Akuffo Addo has not been able to produce nipa bakumpia on any practice here because we are talking about a period of 6 years. Say a Frau Inner Templar, did you practice with Kevin Taylor? Did you practice with Kojaki? So you didn't practice with anybody. And that one too, I will show you why Akuffo Addo lied about that. Because say a Frau Inner Templar, it means you are the bar there. You should have practiced with somebody. Now, till date, nobody has come out to say, I practiced with Akuffo Addo during these years. Furthermore, Akuffo Addo is yet to produce evidence of colleagues he practiced law with in France. He claimed to have lived for 5 years after being called to English Bar and Middle Temple, English Bar Middle Temple. You know, say Akuffo Addo, he brags about staying in France and that how he practiced law in France. Now it has moved from Ghana, Inns of Court, Middle Temple. So Inns of Court is apprenticeship. Middle Temple, law. He passed the the bar. He became a lawyer. Then quickly he came to France. He practiced there too. He got a degree, I don't know, in France. So Middle, all the way to Temple, Inns to Temple to France. All of them, he has not been able to provide one certificate, one colleague, one practicing colleague. Ever seen there? Now, let's move forward. The law firm in France he's been talking about, where he claimed to have practiced, collapsed long ago. And interestingly, no one from that law firm appears ready to testify as to his presence in that setup as a lawyer of some international repute. Nobody. At least you should have one person who will write a book, one person who even go on his Twitter, one person who will tell his grandchildren that my colleague, my mate I practiced with in France is now the president of Ghana. So when you go to Ghana, say Olivier Laurent, your colleague we practice in French. I'm still alive and I say hello to him. They'll give you some protocol. Nobody. The law firm has even collapsed. And nobody has come out to say, I practiced with Akuffo Addo. But he's in Ghana, he's around the world. He has put in his CV that he practiced in France. Remember, anytime Akuffo Addo is talking about his law degree, where he practiced, he never specifically mentions anybody's name. He vaguely mentions law firms. Look at that carefully. Anytime Akuffo Addo is speaking about his law, his educational background, acquiring law degree, he never mentions individuals, classmates, individuals you can pick and go ask. He only mentions law firms. And that should give you a signal that this guy lies and he's lying about everything. Now, let's move forward. There are suggestions that Akuffo Addo might not be a lawyer. At least it has been established that he did not attend the Ghana School of Law, so he has no classmates from that institution. But his name mysteriously emerged in the roll of lawyers in Ghana as the only lawyer who was called to bar on that day. This call happened in the office of the then Chief Justice Apalu. Mokai say, put that Achampon era down. When Achampon came to power, Apalu was working under Akuffo Addo's dad's law firm. Now, when Apalu started practicing law, he was a young lawyer at Akuffo Addo's dad's law firm. Now, later when Apalu became a big man, that was when he became a judge. Remember, when Achampon them took power, the Supreme Court was nullified. There wasn't any Supreme Court. There was the appeals court. Now, what they did was they had a panel of 3 and maximum of 5 panel. Now, when there's any case that comes to them, they sit and then they digest, they make sure, say, a verdict came out. They didn't really have a Supreme Court. So Apalu at that moment, who used to work with Akuffo Addo's dad as a young lawyer, was technically the Chief Justice then, because he was in charge when it comes to the appeals court, the number of judges there. So something happened. Apalu was actually spoken to by Akuffo Addo's dad, who is technically Apalu's mentor, who is the person who gave Apalu the opportunity to practice law in his law firm, that his son is coming to Ghana and do an exceptional thing for me. So that is why you always hear say, you say Judge Apalu swore Akuffo Addo as a lawyer in his office without anybody. That is why Akuffo Addo does not have a classmate. Remember, Apalu started his law as a young lawyer under Akuffo Addo's dad's law firm. Akuffo Addo papa law firm na Apalu started Juma. Apalu be a big man, be a judge kesiye no. Na a champion mo tiny in the Supreme Court. So after the Supreme Court had been nullified, it's now appeals court. And I think they had 3 people on the bench and the maximum of 2 or more expandia. So technically, Apalu was technically the high one, the Supreme Court judge. He's the Chief Justice, technically. So that is the time Akuffo Addo had come. Remember, Akuffo Addo came to Ghana when 71 to 75. That era was a champion's time. That was when Akuffo Addo's dad told Apalu that let this happen because my son did not go to Ghana Law School, but he needs to enter the Ghana bar. So Apalu swore Akuffo Addo as a lawyer in his office. That's why you go into the books. Because the same year that Akuffo Addo was made or was sworn in, that was the same year Chachuchi Kata, 74, 71, 2, 3, 4. That was the same, 74, 75. That was the same year Chachuchi Kata was also at the Ghana Law School. That was the same year Atudadzi, former chief of staff for J.J. Rawlings, was at the law school. So you have to understand that 74, 75, there were mates, there were lawyers in Ghana. So for Akuffo Addo not to be able to point to one person to say, the two of us, we were sitting on the same desk, or I was part of this group, it should tell you that Akuffo Addo came to Ghana without a law degree. Akuffo Addo came, his dad influenced Apalu to swear Akuffo Addo in as to pass the Ghana bar in his office. That is why Akuffo Addo always tells you, my law certificate is missing. My law certificate is missing because he was not part of any group that learned to go through the Ghana Law School. He was just an apprentice. He had practiced apprenticeship in the UK. And he went to France to do some co-meaning, which will come on to date. So you need to understand that Akuffo Addo from day one has lied about his law certificate or being a lawyer. He's fake. Now, we are not done. Now, I was telling you that when Akuffo Addo is speaking, listen to him attentively. You will realize that he never says anything about his colleague he practiced with. He never says anything about when I was in France, I was in front of this case. And this case is one of those cases that worried me because I put a lot in. He never says stuff like that. He never makes a statement like, you know, when I was in France, there was one particular case that I went to court with this, my colleague, you know, he never does that. All that he does is, you know, this law firm, this law firm, and this law firm, and I was there. He's never specific about any case because he never practiced in France. He had an interview with the French ambassador to Ghana. Some show they do like that. Let's listen to Akuffo Addo. You consistently hear him talk about law firms, but he never mentions a case that he was part of, a practicing lawyer. But after that, too, I will ask some few questions for you to know that Akuffo Addo basically is lying about his law. He is not a lawyer. He is fake. And I'll prove again to you why I'm saying this. Watch this. Come out. Where are you? I need the guy. That's it.
You went to France and you lived and worked in France.
For 5 years.
5 years?
As a young man, yeah.
So when was that exactly?
At the very beginning of the 1970s. I went to France in 1970, in the last year of Georges Pompidou's presidency.
Right.
Yes.
That was my next question. So I thought I would trick you with who was the president? Yes.
It was Georges Pompidou.
Yes.
And as a Ghanaian who was educated in England, that had been the exposure, all the experience was English related. And I thought I should have experience of another European civilization before finally coming back to Ghana. And
so it was a choice.
It was a choice.
You thought you wanted a second European country.
I thought that experience would be good, and France made a lot of sense to me for the same reasons as I gave. All our neighbors are French, and I thought that it would make somebody, because right from the beginning I always intended a political career.
Oh, you thought of it?
Yes,
so you thought that you were actually accumulating assets
to make that experience. I come from a very political family.
Yes.
Which
surprised me that you went to France in 1970, because actually the leader here, the head of state at that time,
was my father.
Was your father?
A little bit of also to escape all of that.
Oh yeah, like we all do when we're young.
Yes.
So when you arrived in France, did you know France before? Or is it with first visit?
I'd been there a couple of times as a student in London. I'd gone, like all of us do, for every now and then for a weekend in Paris and all of that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the idea that I was going to go and work there. And I was fortunate. A very famous and very well established American law firm was good enough to offer me a job in Paris. In Paris as conseil juridique, as they were known in those days in Paris.
So it was the very beginning of a career of a lawyer when you begin as a conseiller juridique.
Absolutely, and I began it in France.
Right.
Really an extraordinary experience for me, because the firm was the main law firm for the major American companies that were doing business in Europe, in France and in Europe. So you found that the big American multinational companies, Ford, Lockheed, Bank of America, Citibank, all of these were clients of Couder. And it gave me a big insight into how those corporations work and the mindset that animates them. They also had important French
companies,
especially those who had a lot of international exposure, like Marcel Dassault. The French aviation company was a client of Couder's as well.
One of your clients was also a wine company, or is it?
Yes, Lillet.
But that's quite impressive. And I'll get back to this because you were actually working in English on a daily basis.
Not really. It was to some extent also French because at the end of the day, the work of the office was advising American, Anglo-Saxon clients, if you like, Anglo-American clients on French law. If you're coming to do work in France, you need to have a clear understanding of French corporate law. You have to interact with French.
So that's your president, Akuffo Addo. You need to notice one thing. He always speaks about law firms, but he never speaks about colleagues he practiced with. He never. Now, when you meet me and you tell me you're a Black Star player and you're part of the 2010 group, and I'm like, hey, are you sure? Like, yeah. Many Samojan, me and Tornado, we were sharing room. When you check the list of the players, I did not play in the game, but I was on the bench. Then you are showing me that you are really part of the 2010 Black Star players, Omuko, South Africa. Because I might not know you, maybe now Katim Nobawan Bobby, but you can point some things out to me for me to go research and see, say. In fact, this guy, Amboni, but all along he was part of the team. He shared room with Steven Appiah. He was on the bench. So you give Akuffo Addo never mentions anybody he practiced law with. The only thing he does is me Black Star. Obusan say year so year 2010 to 2012 now me kasa team no. Now when you the boy who were your colleagues, co-players, he will never say it. But when he listened to this interview very well, baby Ojano honey. He was talking about multinational companies. Not that firm all that they did was make sure multinational companies, American companies that wanted to do business in France, they made sure they set the pace, they made them understand the rules governing French businesses and all that. That has got nothing to do with human rights. Do you know that? In Akuffo Addo's profile, there's nothing that shows that Akuffo Addo stood in court to as a lawyer or a counsel for a client to speak on human rights anywhere. And from his own mouth, the law firm he is saying he worked with, they were basically in charge, or their specification or specialty was all in multinational trade transactions and all that. But today they are saying that Akuffo Addo is a human rights lawyer who started from the UK. I don't see any human rights in what Akuffo Addo is talking about in France. Maybe in the UK. And in the UK, there are no records to show Akuffo Addo was a human rights lawyer. Now, when he comes to Ghana, he becomes a human rights lawyer automatically, and nobody knows how he was able to get that accolade as a human rights lawyer, touted all over the world that he's impeccable, his skill. I'll prove to you why they use the human rights part. It's like I say, I went to university. Oh, Miko Legon. What did you do? Political science. Because everybody does political science. And when you say political science, it becomes easy for you to maneuver when you are writing your resume. Because when I do political science, it is basically, without due respect to those who did political science, but looking at all the courses, it's one of those courses what it makes you can be like, I'm a versatile student because I did political science. I can work at HR. I can work as a human rights. So basically, he chose the political science of law to tell Ghanaians, because then when you press him, he can tell you that he is a human rights lawyer. But in all his statements, in all the records, Akuffo Addo has not told anyone on earth, and nobody has come out to say, I practice with Akuffo Addo as a human rights lawyer. Let's move forward. Now see this. Now, something happened. This came to light after Justice Francis Pega, a Supreme Court judge who had challenged Akuffo Addo's qualification as a lawyer. Interestingly, Justice Pega was swarmed by the lawyers who had passed through the firm of Akuffo Addo, Prempeh & Co. to defend their mentor, more like protecting themselves against embarrassment. They won't live with the reputational damages as having been trained by a lawyer with a questionable backlash. Remember, when this Justice Pega brought this issue up, say Akuffo Addo is a fake lawyer, those lawyers who were all on the street making noise on TV, on radio, it was people like Atachia. You see those people? Because they had all gone through Akuffo Addo's fake law firm. Now, when the mentor is discredited, it means every single individual who went through Akuffo Addo's law firm will be discredited. So all that they had to do was to discredit this judge. So you saw this elite, this legal elite, all come out to come after Pega, trying to discredit the man, but the man was asking a harmless question. Where is your certificate? Where did you practice? How is it that you don't have a classmate in the Ghana Law School? It was a simple question. You don't have a certificate. Prove to us. Then those boys who were all in Prempeh & Co., Akuffo Addo's fake law firm, all that they had to do was to protect their integrity, protect what they've been able to build from this fake law firm. So let us all go out and bite Pega, because if Pega succeeds, what is going to happen is we are all going to be seen as fake lawyers without any credibility. So you saw the Atachians, all those lawyers coming after Pega. Remember, they didn't stop there. Remember, Chachu Chikata also was interviewed. That was during Akuffo's time, when Akuffo Addo was the Attorney General. And Chachu Chikata said, yes, he went to Oxford, but some things were not clear about how Akuffo Addo left. Now, Akuffo Addo realized that Chachu has become an enemy. It was part of the reason why they jailed Chachu. Now, see this. But before Justice Pega, Nana Kuredo Ajman Rawlings had casted doubt on Akuffo Addo's qualification as a lawyer, saying she knew him as one who read economics at University of Ghana, Legon, and not law. In the midst of the confusion, it further emerged that Akuffo Addo left University of Ghana with third-class certificate, although he has been holding himself as a first-class graduate who obtained distinction. That is how Akuffo Addo carried himself. But on record, he finished Legon as a third-class student. Now see, again, before Legon, it emerged that Akuffo Addo had been a student of the prestigious Oxford University, but got sacked under strange circumstances, which till date, or today, remain unclear and unchallenged by him. But this is on his profile as having completed Oxford. Remember, Chachu Dems also went there. They got there and they got to know that Akuffo Addo had been sacked. But on Akuffo Addo resume, it says that Akuffo Addo is an ex-student and he finished Oxford. He didn't complete it. He never completed the school. And when you go there, those who graduated Akuffo Addo's name is not there. It goes on to say, Mr. Chachu Chikata, who was also a student of Oxford on scholarship after his days in Legon, was to tell us that he heard about a certain Akuffo Addo when he got to that school as having been there but was sacked under mysterious circumstances. So when Chachu came back, young boy Chachu, what does he know? He doesn't know anything. He went to study scholarship. Young Green, when you went there, did you see any Ghanaian there? How did you see any Ghanaian who can be your mentor? He said, I heard about Akuffo Addo, but what I heard was he was sacked. Chachu didn't do anything wrong. He was just saying, because if Akuffo Addo was there, he completed. He would have gone to bring you a book and said, this yearbook, this is not Akuffo Addo. But what he said is what he heard in the school, that Akuffo Addo was sacked. That is how Akuffo Addo got so pissed with Chachu. And that is how they cooked that issue against Chachu. Remember, Akuffo Addo was the Attorney General who started the case against Chachu. The reason why Kufuor fired Akuffo Addo and the reason why Chachu was able to expose Akuffo Addo's ignorance was when Akuffo Addo challenged the suit. Attorney General who was Akuffo Addo or court, the case he made was J.A. Kufuor against Chachu Chikata, and the court said, you are dumb. It is not the president against Chachu Chikata, it is the state. So Akuffo Addo had to go back and amend. That is when Kufuor changed Akuffo Addo as the Attorney General. That is when they got to know Akuffo Addo is fake. He doesn't know anything. Because when his dad's law firm was there and Akpalu Dems were working under his dad, anytime there is a case, Akpalu Dems were the ones who were making sure the case is prepared. Then what happens is when they go to court with Akuffo Addo, he just goes there and rattle. So people started saying that, oh, he's a good human rights lawyer. But the job was done by what was done by those people who were working at Akuffo Addo's dad's law firm. So he didn't have any practical knowledge about the thing. All that they did was his dad commanded those people in his law firm those times to make sure they prepare the case and let his son go take the fame. So it got to a point where everybody was like, Akuffo Addo is the most intelligent lawyer in Ghana, the best human rights lawyer. He didn't have the knowledge. It was when he became Attorney General during Chachu's case when he was exposed badly because his ego. He didn't want Chachu to expose him more. He didn't want people who had gone to Oxford to let people know that he was sacked. He targeted Chachu to put him in jail. That is why Akuffo Addo didn't complete that case. Kufuor took him off the case and went to make him Foreign Affairs Minister because they got to know that if they don't make this guy stop what he's doing, the government will be embarrassed. So when you follow this explanation, I am driving your mind to something because there's a part 2 and that is the bomb. And I kept telling you, I want you to understand me before I do a scandal. And this, I've taken all the time to explain to Ghanaians. Now see, we're not done. He had arraigned Chachu Chikata before an Accra High Court in the name of President Akuffo Addo. President Kufuor, sorry. Instead of the Republic versus Chachu Chikata, we had the President versus Chachu Chikata. No Attorney General does that. No Attorney General. But Akuffo Addo, because he didn't know what he was doing, because he wasn't a lawyer, because he was just an apprentice, he does not know the technicalities in filing a case. He was pushed through the mill because of his dad's influence. Because his dad's influence on Akpalu, Akuffo Addo didn't have a certificate to even understand how to file a case. And the records are there. I'm not making it up. The unconstitutionality of the Fast Track High Court, which was flawed on Chachu Chikata and his lawyers until Kufuor packed the court to overturn the majority, Justice Afre and all those things. Remember, that was how Kufuor realized that Akuffo Addo is dumb. Let me change him and bring somebody in and then make sure that, I think he brought in Papo Wuswankuma and make sure that he packs the Supreme Court to no matter what, make sure Chachu goes to jail. Because Akuffo Addo had cooked the case in a way that it favored Kufuor, and it was a way for them to come together and then to make sure. Because if Akuffo Addo had stayed on the case, Chachu would have survived the case because Akuffo Addo was so weak-minded. And even with the new Attorney General coming in, you realize that Chachu had the case, but it was political. They had to do everything possible to jail him, just as they are trying to do to Opuni. Because every time the MPP comes to power, they need to make sure they jail somebody to make people think they are fighting corruption. But technically and to look deep, you realize that they are doing it to favor themselves. They bring their personal fights into politics. They are so petty, and Kufuor showed the way. Akuffo Addo is doing it now. So it is not new. That is their 442 is their blueprint. Now, when you look at this, there's a lot I need to let you know. Now, but the mystery and secrecy around him is further deepened by his claim that he practiced in France in the law of Code Ferrere or Kodo Brothers LLP. Now, but he hasn't told us which area of law he practiced. Was he into corporate practice, criminal lawyer, civil law, commercial law? Akuffo Addo has never told us when he was in France which specific law he practiced in France. Because even from the interview, he was just mentioning law firms that dealt with what we call international business transactions, multinational businesses, how they can, in fact, settle in other countries to do business. He never specifically said anything about what he was specializing in or he had specialized in, what he was a lawyer on. He never said anything like that. But all that he did was he normally mentioned law firms' names. Somebody obi hoko stadium pa onim players ni nyina din ba the ball shen so on chira ontumi chira coaching obi betuma chira o team Mourinho started here tactics are no obo bibia, but the moment you tell him, say, do you have a license to coach, He will not give you an answer. But so most ideas now about different coaches, where they started, where they did their job, the kind of formation they play. You might think he's a lawyer. He is not. He just knows it. He just knows it. Maybe not or a team be Mazua. He just knows it because maybe or DSTV. He just knows it because he follows football so much. But he is not a coach. He has not been certified by FIFA to teach or to be on the bench of a team. So that is what Akuffo Addo was doing. The France. What I am seeing is he was just some clerk there. He was just a boy on the front desk who was doing something. He read about how it works, but he didn't have the certificate to be a practicing lawyer. Again, no one has come out to tell us he was in the same law firm with him or that he defended him or her as a practicing lawyer in both in England and in France. You see this too. With respect to the practice in France, having trained as lawyer in England, one would have found it difficult to immediately start practicing as a lawyer in a French-speaking country. France, of all places, as a result of the differences or the difference in their legal system, England operates the common legal system, France does not. Basically, what it's trying to tell you is the moment you go to France, let's say you even have a law degree or a practicing lawyer in England. When you go to France, what is going to happen is there is a process you have to go through before you can practice there. So Akuffo Addo wants to tell us the day he left England and entered France, the following week he started practicing. It doesn't work like that. The English had a common law. Ireland, Scotland, UK, you can do that. But when you move from that side and you come to France, you cannot do that. There is a procedure you need to follow. You cannot just move from England and come to France and say, the next day, I'm a practicing lawyer. Nowhere can this happen in France. It is not possible. So how did Akuffo Addo just enter France and started practicing? You should have entered and then gone through a process. No lawyer can come from Togo and say, I'm coming from a francophone country. I entered Ghana. The next week or two, I am in court practicing as a criminal lawyer. You cannot. There is a process you need to go through. There is a process you need to go through, and that process is not easy. Go back and read. So Akuffo Addo is cooking stories left and right because he knows that is the only way he will get his way out. So you now get the clear picture. Because even if he had a degree, a law degree in UK, coming to France, you can't take 6 months to start practicing. No. And the kind of law firms he was mentioning, they are the kind of law firms who will say 2 weeks, come and bring a document and start practicing. It never happens. They themselves, when they were speaking in the video, the French woman was like, it is one of the most reputable law firms. So you can't just walk in and say, I'm Akuffo Addo. I have degree in UK. So I want to practice. It doesn't, especially there is a language barrier. Now, in the full interview, he said, oh, the reason why he got to know French was when he was in England, he used to visit France. How long do you stay in France to know French? You went to France to stay there. You didn't have nothing doing. And that's how you learned the French. So when you were in France, the same time, 70 to 75, were you writing or learning Ghana law school? And they say, because you came to Ghana, you just entered the Ghana law school, you were just passed. So when did you take the course? Somebody say, Master, stop the lies. Go and check his speech at Oxford University level time he went there. Show us his speech. Who was he speaking to? What year? And what class? What speech are you talking about, Master? His name is Aminat Rockman. You don't have anything. What speech? What year? What was the speech about? Say, go and check. Akuffo Addo had his speech at Oxford. If you have a speech at Oxford, does it mean you have a degree in foolish? Huh? So what come speech at Oxford? Does it mean you have a degree, a law degree from Oxford? Don't be foolish, my friend. Open your head a little bit. Now look at this. The current position on what is expected of lawyers trained outside France but want to practice in French court is that, and this is what you have to know. Solicitors of England and Wales can practice on a temporal or fly-in, fly-out basis as FLC in France on the basis of the EU-UK Trade and Cooperation Agreement. Now, they must obtain authorization from the Council National de Bureau, that's the CNB, and register with one of the local French bar associations. So the issue is, before you can even practice in France, you need to register with one of the what we call the local French bar associations. Now, if Akuffo Addo wants things to be easy, which of the associations did he register with? Which of the associations in French or in France, sorry, did he register with? That alone is enough. We want to know if he actually registered with any of the associations. There are 3 associations. Those times he needs to tell us that I registered with this association as a practicing lawyer in UK and I am in France now to practice. He should just show us that. We don't even need the certificate again. We don't even need the certificate again. Now, the French law firm he said he was working at, Bibian also Jumano. This is what we want. I want you to know about. Now, Coudet Frères, I hope I got it wrong or right, I don't know, or Coudet Brothers LLP, where he claimed to have been working, was a New York-based law firm with a strong international outlook. It was in practice from 1953 until its dissolution in 2006. That same law firm he said he worked at, it was established in 1953. Now, 1853, just 2006, and now dissolved that law firm. So it has been around till 2006. Now he goes on to say this: founder Frederic René Coudet Senior, Charles Coudet Jr., Louis Léonce Coudet. Now he goes on to say, date founded 1853, New York City. At the time of its dissolution, it had no number of attorneys, 650. So this company, Akuffo Addo said he worked at, it was established in 1953 and then dissolved, or the dissolution was in 2006. By the time they were dissolving it, it had 650 attorneys there. Interestingly, none of these lawyers have been pronounced to testify as a colleague to Akuffo Addo in France. 650 lawyers were working there before the company was shut down, the law firm was shut down. None of these, none, had written anywhere in any academic book, any journal, anything that they stood in court with Akuffo Addo. 650 attorneys. Now, there are no pictures of himself and anybody he practiced law with in France. No picture. He has not even released one single picture that I was here with Laurent Kevin Taylor and then we were in this. Nothing. Everything Akuffo Addo is saying does not have trace. Every single thing Akuffo Addo says about his law practicing and all that, there's no trace to it. No pictures, no videos, no articles, no even court proceedings which he was part of that he cherished so much. Because when you practice in France, a young Ghanaian, you should have a particular case you cherish that you always put with you or keep with you to show your grandchildren, to show your friends that this case, man, it showed me that I have come of age as a lawyer. He doesn't have anything, no evidence. And finally, we are looking for pictures. Yeah, you show infonin keke. Yeah, you degree ni biem. Infonin, certificate of practice keke. Because of France, 3 institutions I could register with it. We just need certificate of practice. We need pictures. Colleagues, legal practitioners from France and England to just testify that Menen and Akuffo Addo practiced together. Nana Akuffo Addo is a fake lawyer. Then I feel I might build the base, in a few weeks to come. I will show you something. So we are Ghana now arguing with fee, na enya politics na ejimi. Na say o pesa o kano kre. Now who say Akuffo Addo is a fake lawyer. What I have put here, bring a counter. The reason why I'm doing this is simple. Your judiciary, there are people in there who are not supposed to be there, especially Yoni Kulendi. Yoni Kulendi on record, it is alleged that he killed his teacher, Ali. Yoni Kulendi changed his name. His name was Timbila. The lawyer who stood in for Yoni Kulendi when he was in senior high school after he committed that crime was Ambrose Derry. He is the Minister of Interior. Now, Yoni Kulendi is targeting the Chief Justice slot. What kind of country are you building? Till date, Yoni Kulendi has not come out to say that is a lie. Ambrose Derry has not come out to say that is a lie. Now we have a judicial system whereby now we have fake people, murderers, alleged murderers, criminals who have infiltrated the highest office in our judicial settings. Now making decisions for us. We have a president who cannot show one classmate, one colleague, one picture, one certificate, one photo of him practicing in England or in France. We have a president who cannot point to one single individual he graduated with in Ghana Law School in Ghana. We sit here and we don't think it's a problem. We have imposters leading us. And Akuffo Addo is a criminal to me because all the checks we have done, this guy has not been able to come out clear on this issue. When the question was posed to him, can we see your certificate? He said, my certificate is missing. If your certificate is missing, does it mean all your colleagues are dead? Does it mean all your mates are dead? Does it mean where you practice, you don't have any record? This man is fake. And it is going to go into our next elections. The reason why I'm doing this is because this group of people, every single thing they show you, I'm going to bet you will be a fake. When they show you Alan Chamanti, it is fake. When they show you Bawumia, know that it is fake. Because this group of NPP, majority of the leadership, they are fake criminals. Has anybody stepped out boldly with their chest out to defend Akuffo Addo when it comes to his law certificate? Nobody, because they all know it's the truth. Has anybody come out to defend Akuffo Addo and say, I am this person, I went to Ghana Law School with Akuffo Addo? No, because they all know the president is a trickster. Has anyone come with any counter document to say, all that I'm showing today or all that you have heard before is a lie? Nobody, because they know Akuffo Addo was carved out of nothing. And that is what they are planning to do to us when it comes to Bawumia. That is what they are planning to do, to shape in somebody and present the person to you as the next president, because they know Akuffo Addo's plan worked. They brought Akuffo Addo who did not have any degree. He was sacked from every single school that he attended. He does not have any knowledge, but they prepared and packaged him. At the end of the day, he is now president. So they believe Gabi, Bedietuo, and let me tell you something. Bedietuo himself, the secretary to the president, is equally as guilty as the president. Bedietuo cannot also tell you where he practiced law. He said he practiced law in the United States of America. He went to a law school here. Bedietuo did not go to law school here with his own certificate. He entered the law school, Columbia, with his dad's certificate. Bedietuo today, or Ghana for Bibi Bamuni, Mamin Breki Bibi Nchiramo. Bedietuo, the secretary to the president. Ne you know no. When they tell you that woman's family is rich, it's a lie. That Nigerian lady Bedietuo is marrying now, it is a lie. The woman's family does not have shit. Now let me prove something to you. Bedietuo is making you people think that he has married a woman from a rich home. Bedietuo is taking your money. And all they uses, sir, my wife is rich. She can do her own business. This lady was the babysitter for Bedietuo and his wife in the United States of America. Do you know that? It shows how cruel Bedietuo is. This current woman, Bedietuo is marrying. She was the babysitter for Bedietuo and his bedridden wife. Bedietuo's original wife got sick, bedridden for a long time. Bedietuo basically, when this lady was coming there to babysit their kid, was having an affair with this lady he's marrying now. So it is not all that gloomy. I'm classy. I will show you something. So even the president's secretary himself If today you tell him to go show you where his certificate is when it comes to law, show you his GP, whatever, he cannot because he used a fake certificate to go to Colombia, and we are working on that. These people are liars. He's using his wife and creating that idea. The bloggers are putting out there. Bedi Otuo's wife is so rich. She comes from a rich family. She doesn't come from a rich family. She is not rich. They are stealing your money and they are using the woman's face as she's from a rich family. So when there's sandbox, see that it is Bedi Otuo's wife whose family has money and that they were able to purchase sandbox. It is Bedi Otuo. That is how they are laundering your money. I will expose Bedi Otuo very soon, but I wanted you people to know where this is coming from. This girl he's married now used to be their babysitter in America. Bedi Otuo's wife got sick, bedridden, big time. And then the same time, Bedi Otuo was sleeping with this girl. At the end of the day, they got married. You need to understand these kind of people. They are cruel people. Do you know how Bedi Otuo came to relate Akuffo Addo? Akuffo Addo's uncle raped Bedi Otuo's mother. It is complicated. They are dangerous people. They came in. They are the mafias. Akuffo Addo is somebody we need to really look at. In our history, if we don't take care, Ghana will be the only country where a fake lawyer became the president of the republic. We know J.J. Rawlings, his level of education. We know J. Akuffo, his level of education. We know Atta Mills, his highest level of education. We know John Mahama. Nobody has contested these people. And anywhere, on any platform, when you ask these people to provide their certificates, they will get every single thing for you. But Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo can never. Ask yourself why. He's an imposter. He's fake on Kanokre or a truffle or a cromfo. You people are being led by a criminal. I'm still open for a debate. Anyone who thinks he has more better stuff than what I've said here should come out and counter what I've said. We need photos. We need pictures. We need